Cowboy fans and YouTubers? Is that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you with another one? Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic. I just wanted to get on here real quick. Had a couple days off. Hit you back with some of the training camp thoughts some more. I know the team's getting back at it today, but some observations came out over the weekend that I know some have reported and some haven't talked about. So I wanted to touch on a couple of things. First off, the Amari Cooper and Tank Lawrence being on the PUP list, and Jerry Jones himself saying that more than likely they're not going to practice before they get back to the Star in Frisco. I see the precaution. I mean, they're still out there, on resistance cords, moving around a bit, and they're just not doing full-on sprinting, running, practicing type stuff. But they're getting themselves still stay in shape and ready to go with the rehab they've been doing for this whole time. D-Law, I'm not too worried about because he's had issues with his back before, and this was a cleanup procedure. Cooper, I'm not sure what's going on there because he's had these foot problems for the last couple seasons. He went in for the surgery in January to get this stuff cleaned up, and it's still getting irritated in July. I'm not sure if that's a problem or not, but everybody's still saying that more than likely he's going to be a go come September, which is fine because he still makes it through the season. But, I don't want this to be a lingering problem for him, especially if we're going to keep him on that contract. So we'll have to see what happens when they get back to the Star, and if they're going to get practice days in or, take the veteran days and every other day type deal. Next story to come up that I don't know if anybody else has talked about, Cooper Rush. He was injured Saturday, I do believe. He was taken off the field. He had some kind of issue. Nobody said what it is yet. He did not return to practice. I don't think he's returned to practice. So right now, with Cooper Rush out, that pushes Ben DiNucci up a slot. And right now, the word is that Garrett Gilbert has been getting the majority of the backup snaps. So the wish that we had last season is coming true, that Garrett Gilbert may not be a starter, but if we had done better, he might have won that Pittsburgh game. Now, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but a couple of things we did in that game was boneheaded, and Garrett Gilbert still showed off like a pro that he is. He's been in the league and for a while. He's been in the AAF, so he has the pedigree to be better. We just need to bring it out of him in case he has to be a starter again. Hopefully that's not the case, but he is getting the majority of the backup snaps, so we'll probably see him a lot more in this preseason than DiNucci or, Rush if he gets back. Next observation, the guys don't seem to be going too veteran heavy on the offensive line, unlike years past. They let Joe Looney test free agency, and he's still out there. They brought in Ty Nishke. He's been around for a while, but he hasn't had the best of camps that I've heard. But they're working out Connor Williams. He's getting reps at center to back up Tyler Biadasz just in case of emergency. And they moved Connor McGovern. They're moving him all around. He's not getting as much as the center snaps, but he's going to come in at left guard if Connor's got to shift over to center. So they're looking at it as both Connors are basically getting the workouts all on the interior of the line just so they can get that experience on doing everything on that portion if they need to, because they have enough guys for the swing tackle positions. So we'll have to see. Next, we did sign a defensive back. Not the one we thought yet. The guy we thought, Malik Hooker, is still out there. I think he's supposed to arrive at the Star today or tomorrow. And Jerry Jones himself pretty much, and everybody else is reporting that it's a done deal. It's just that he hasn't landed in Texas to sign the contract or whatever yet. Plus, it was the 5-day protocol, whatever that means, because I guess his physical went well, and they just can't, sign him immediately for some reason. But we took. Oh, before I move on, if we do sign him, because we signed this next guy I'm gonna talk about, that means we're gonna have to cut a guy because we're already at the 90 man roster. So somebody's gonna have to go, and some things are pointing towards maybe Anthony Brown, because from what they're saying, Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright are both showing out in camp. So it's putting the onus on Anthony Brown to step up because they're looking good in camp. They may take his spot, and it may come down to him and Jordan Lewis fighting over the slot corner position. So we'll have to see. But because of that, we have corner Kyron Brown. We signed him to a 2-year deal, 6'1", 195. He's an undrafted free agent out of Akron. He played in 2019 for the New York Jets. Unfortunately, he played special team snaps in one game, and the next game he was a starter. He only had 5 tackles, and then he injured his quad, which put him on injured reserve, and then they waive injured him for 2020. He cleared waivers, and he just sat there basically until they cut him in May. He's only 25, so if he's over his quad injury, which he must be because we signed him, that's another depth position for training camp and preseason. And with all these guys moving in and out, some guys' jobs are on the line, like I discussed before. So you don't know. He's taking up a spot on the 90-man roster because we did cut, what's his name, a couple days ago. The pissed off guy, the other corner. Doesn't matter. He's not here. Anyway, if we get Hooker, somebody has asked me, would we want KZ or Hooker to start? Well, the optimal thing, I wanted both, but it's more than likely going to be like Donovan Wilson and Hooker, and then you have quality backups behind them. So if anybody drops off, the talent level isn't going to like fall off a steep cliff like normal with us. So that's my thoughts for right now. I didn't want to take up too much time. I know they're practicing today and more stuff has been coming out, but I didn't want to sit up here and take forever to talk about it. Let's see real quick. Scrolling through here, there doesn't seem to be much to talk about yet, but that looks like the news of the day will be the Malik Hooker signing. Whenever he touches down and they can do the contract signing and make all the press releases and all that. The rest of the guys look to be having a pretty good camp. The defense has definitely shown that they're better equipped this year than they were last year. And one last note before I leave, Micah Parsons. Actually, 2 notes. Micah Parsons is basically got a lot on his plate, and he's taking it so well. The coaches and the ownership and the other players are noticing how well he's doing, taking on this heavy load because he's learning all the linebacker spots. He's also learning edge rushing from, he's talked to D-Law. He's going one-on-ones with Tyron Smith and getting his advice. He's getting one-on-one work with Dan Quinn. And they're saying it's not too much for his plate because he's absorbing it all and taking it all in. And that's a good sign. That's what we want to hear, that he can be designated all over the field and there won't be a drop-off because he knows where he's supposed to be, where his job is supposed to be, and he can relay the calls to anybody else on the field if he's going to get that green checker on the back of his helmet, you know. So, the second point, Randy Gregory is a beast. Need we say any more? He's a beast. Everybody knows he's a beast. And y'all need to be scared this coming season because he is chomping at the bit to get on that field and be a starter. And they've already pretty much said he will be designated starter on the other side of Tank Lawrence. So, all in all, great training camp so far for the defense. The offense is right back to where they were in 2019. Troy Aikman, Jerry Jones saying that's the best they've seen Dak in practices. The future is bright. We'll just have to see if it all comes together on the field. Jerry Jones was asked about the GM job and if Troy Aikman would be a consideration, and of course he said yes. Why not? When Troy was asked, he said he never really thought about being a GM because Fox is paying him pretty well. And, in the past, Troy has said he'd love to have been a GM. He was learning things like that in the front office before he took the broadcasting position full time, and he seems pretty comfortable with it, but you never know. With Jerry, he might be able to talk him into being a GM if it came down to that. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think I've ran my mouth enough. If you stayed this long, thanks again for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. And as the day goes by today, we'll get more notes, we'll get more news. Check out Twitter, check out YouTube. Cowboys content will be coming and streaming all day long, I'm sure. And till then, this is VA Dallas Cowboy fan.